Uganda, and you are watching UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chiravo Yonyitono. Robert, good morning.
A lovely morning to you, Julie. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
You're good?
I am. And you?
I'm very okay.
Lovely.
Yeah, when there is news in the country,
right.
Of course, this time now there's uncertainties where life is lost. It's very unfortunate. Why do I call it uncertainties? Because the children of these people, the wives of these people, now don't know what next.
Right.
Well, we don't have so much social security, or when a father of a home, when a mother in a home lives, there's so much uncertainty. You don't know what tomorrow holds.
I think for me what hurts the most with cases such as this and many unfortunate events is the fact that that's another statistic. And it's a memory that lands on the families. That for every time now, for next year's police report, as they talk about the accidents that occurred in 2026, family members will be remembering that, oh, my member, my family member, my loved one is part of that statistic.
14 gone, 28 having serious injuries. We pray that the death toll remains at that and these people recover. But also there's something that annoys me. These are not accidents, Judy. And I want to speak right to our viewer. These are not accidents. What we have in Uganda, 95% or even 99% are not accidents.
Very preventable.
These are very preventable. Now, you're moving at night at 9:30 and you're over speeding. When we look at last year's police report, the traffic bit of it, most of the accidents were a result of speed and overtaking. In Uganda, someone will overtake in a sharp corner without clear vision of what is coming ahead. And whenever we are head-on collision, usually this is that someone was overtaking or overspeeding without clear vision. And out of the blue, he noticed a vehicle. He had nothing to do but ram into it. Very unfortunate. But also for our brothers and families that are returning from South Africa, so far 880 are back. According to the acting minister for foreign affairs, he had said yesterday in parliament that there were some supposed to be arriving yesterday.
Right.
I don't have updates as to if they have arrived yet, but there were concern from their relatives that these people are returning. We go to welcome them at the airport. You don't even greet them or hug them. Not that from the flight, they're put in buses or whatever to Chankwans.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
As long as you're brought back by government of Uganda. The moment you land at Entebbe, straight to Chankwans. So their relatives were concerned that no, these have already been traumatized. They're coming home to meet their wives, to meet their children, to have that warm hug of return. Welcome back from the death trap. But then you're only told, no, they're straight driven to Chankwans. So you can't let everyone go home, then tell them come on this day. So we are taking them to one place. We are still expecting another bunch. Then they'll be able to meet the president. But he said also offering psychosocial support. Because they went through a lot, they need to be talked to, counseled, given all the resources they are by some of the experts we have, to ensure that they integrate after meeting His Excellency. If that happens, then they can go back into their communities. Because after all, they didn't come like the usual way they come. This is another challenging time.
Right.
So they need someone to be spoken to, not going back to communities and now being told, Okariadda kadadda. You know what that means?
Yeah, I know what it means. Like kama. Like kama. It's kama,
Now, you've been in South Africa doing well. We've been seeing your pictures, your family. Now here you are. No, when government has cancelled you, you're able. Or, our relatives and our friends want us. When I traveled, you know, what have you brought for me? What have you brought for me? This time, we've brought nothing from South Africa.
Very interesting perspectives when it comes to people who stay abroad and who are from abroad and overseas back to Uganda. But hopefully that we do thank the government for the efforts being put in And we hope that the community also plays the better role, adds on to what government has already played, because ideally 2 weeks are just 2 weeks, but the rest of the longer period is within the community. Now, we are almost getting to what's about 16 minutes on to 7 a.m. this morning, and we want to see what updates we have this morning for you. We're starting off with the local scene.
At least 14 people have been killed and 28 others seriously injured following a fatal accident along the Gulu-Kampala highway in Omoro district. The crash occurred on Tuesday night at around 9:30 p.m. at Gulu Okit village, Bobby sub-county, when a bus belonging to Opiti travelers in company collided head-on with a trailer traveling in the opposite direction. Residents and eyewitnesses say the accident is believed to have been caused by overspeeding. According to witnesses, the Opiti travelers bus, registration number UBE 110H, was traveling from Kampala towards Gulu when it collided head-on with a trailer that had the crash claimed 14 lives, while 28 passengers sustained serious injuries and were rushed to various health facilities in Gulu City for treatment. Police say investigations into the cause of the accident are ongoing. The injured victims continue to receive treatment at various health facilities within Gulu City. After spending about 20 months on remand waiting trial, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haj Obedi Lutale filed another application for bail before Judge Emmanuel Waguma. The application was scheduled for hearing on 3rd July this very year, after being fixed on 30th June 2026, with all parties directed to appear before court. On the hearing date, the applicant's lead counsel did not appear. Dr. Kizza Besigye informed court that they could not proceed without their legal team. The prosecution, led by Chief State Attorney Richard Bivrimbika, asked the court to dismiss the application, arguing that it had been filed jointly by 13 legal firms. He submitted that the absence of senior counsel Martha Karuhara and counsel Elias Lukwago could not prevent the hearing, since the applicants were represented by several other advocates from the same legal team. Considering submissions from both sides, Judge Emmanuel Waguma dismissed the application for want of prosecution. Judge Waguma noted that the notice of motion was jointly prepared and filed by 13 law firms and could not be hindered by an individual lawyer. He further observed that counsel Moses Tugume, who represents the applicants in the main case, was present when the hearing date was fixed, together with the Chief State Attorney representing the respondent. The judge ruled that because the application was filed by 13 law firms, the applicants could not insist on being represented by only 1 or 2 lawyers out of a legal team comprising of about 50 advocates. He added that allowing such a position would undermine the right to fair hearing for both parties and interfere with the efficient administration of justice. In the recent weeks, concerns have continued to grow among citizens over the slow pace of some road construction projects, within questions being raised about contractors who receive government contracts but fail to complete works within the agreed timelines. The delays have affected service delivery, increased the cost of projects, and slowed the country's infrastructure development agenda. The concerns recently attracted the attention of the president, who expressed dissatisfaction over delayed road projects and called for improved accountability and efficiency in the management of public infrastructure projects. It is against this background that the Minister of Works and Transport has intensified engagements with road contractors, including tarmac roads, to identify challenges affecting project implementation and find solutions to ensure timely completion of works. During that engagement, contractors representing different road construction companies highlighted some of the challenges affecting project implementation. They told the minister that it is, in some cases, they are delayed by designs, approvals, and certification documents. Responding to the concerns raised by contractors, Minister Fred Byabakama assured them that government is committed to addressing the challenges affecting road construction projects. He said the ministry will work to ensure that outstanding issues are resolved, including financial-related constraints, as government continues to provide resources for road infrastructure development. Earlier on, Minister Fred Byabakama first engaged station engineers from the Ministry of Works and Transport, drawn from different parts of the country, who are responsible for the construction and maintenance of Maram roads. Minister Fred Byabakama recognized the importance of Maram roads, describing them as a critical part in Uganda's road network that continues to support government programs and connect communities. Byabakama said government is committed to supporting local contractors. More than 1 million refugees in Uganda have been cut off food assistance following drastic reductions in humanitarian funding. The World Food Programme has restructured its refugee support program, leaving only the most vulnerable households eligible for reduced food rotations. The discussion and decision has intensified hunger and malnutrition across refugee settlements, especially in West Nile, where nearly 1 million refugees now face growing uncertainty over their next meal. East-West Seed Knowledge Transfer, working together with Arab Gulf Programme for Development, is training refugees and members of host communities in climate-smart vegetable production. The program promotes household kitchen growing, improved seed varieties, and nutrition education, enabling families to provide their own food while earning from surplus harvests. The project is already changing lives. Families that once depended entirely on relief food are now harvesting tomatoes, onions, pumpkins, eggplants, and leafy vegetables from small plots around their homes. The produce not only supplements household diets, but also generates income. Demand for improved vegetable seeds and agro inputs has increased, while farmers are supplying fresh produce to markets that previously relied on vegetables transported from distant regions. With humanitarian funding continuing to shrink, organizations promoting climate-smart agriculture believe investing in food production rather than prolonged food aid could provide a more sustainable future for both refugees and communities hosting them. Now, allow me end our local stories here. Julie is very ready to take you through what she has on the international scene.
Thank you very much, Robert. And indeed, what we have on the international scene, we are starting off with the sad, rather sad, I would say, and as if proving to be the never-ending war between U.S. and Iran. The U.S. president said it's a waste of time dealing with Tehran after the U.S. struck dozens of Iranian targets overnight and again later. On Wednesday, the U.S. military is conducting strikes on Iran, according to a post by the U.S. Central Command. On Wednesday, the statement came hours after President Donald Trump declared an interim deal to end the war with Iran was over. It said the strikes aimed at degrading Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is holding Iran accountable for recent unjustified aggression against commercial shipping and civilian crews freely navigating a vital international waterway, U.S. Central Command wrote in a post on X. Pakistan, which mediated the tentative ceasefire between the two nations on Wednesday night, called on all parties to exercise restraint. Pakistan urges all sides to uphold their respective commitments under the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, the Pakistani Foreign Office said in a statement. Meanwhile, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres also called for de-escalation and a resumption of talks. Now, let's move on to German. A German palliative care doctor has been sentenced to life imprisonment for killing 15 of his patients. A court in Berlin found the 41-year-old man, named only as Johannes M., in line with German privacy rules, guilty of murdering 12 women and 3 men between September 2021 and July 2024. The authorities believe these killings could be just the tip of the iceberg. Prosecutors are currently investigating dozens of other incidents involving the doctor. His victims were between the ages of 25 and 94. The court heard how they were all critically ill, but that their deaths were not imminent. Prosecutors said that during home visits, the doctor administered a lethal combination of various medicines without his patient's consent. On several occasions, they said he set fires to cover his tracks. In July 2024, shortly before his arrest, prosecutors said that the doctor killed 2 patients in a single day, a 75-year-old man at his home in central Berlin, and a few hours later, a 76-year-old woman in a neighboring district. They said the doctor tried to set fire to the woman's house but failed. Now, what intentions would you have to do such things? My goodness. Anyways, on to the African continent. A reminder that Ebola is still out there. So, in case you thought it's no more, it is still out here. And at least 600 people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo have died from Ebola, as the number of confirmed cases of the illness rose to 1,759, according to government data. The total numbers released on Wednesday were confirmed as of Tuesday, while 51 new cases and 20 deaths were recorded in the previous 24 hours. The total of those infected does not include 2 cases of illnesses reported in Kisangani, the capital of the Shopo province and one of the DRC's biggest cities, as the test results were being validated. The government's report said they will be included in the official case total once confirmed. One of those 2 cases is linked to the village of Nyania in the Ituri province, where the first illnesses were reported. But the second illness does not appear to have a geographical link beyond Kisangani, according to the government. As the situation worsens, healthcare workers in Ituri province, the hardest hit of the country's 3 eastern regions affected by the outbreak, are walking off their jobs to protest against delay in payments. In an official notice to national and provincial authorities over the weekend, the frontline workers in Ituri threatened to strike if they were not paid in 24 hours. By Tuesday, some had already stopped working, although no official strike has been declared, the Associated Press news agency reported. And that is what you'd call a katongo, because with the situation dire and doctors, of course, needing their pay, and of course, you think of the funding, the limited funding therein.
We were to send our doctors to go and help. I just want to believe they're not part of that mess.
I hope so too.
Because doctors in such critical situations need to get their pay. It's a matter of death and life. Handling an Ebola patient, Julie,
Right.
you all know, any slight mistake, you can contract the disease.
That is so true. Anyways, let's take a quick look at what the dailies have, just a bit of the headlines, and thereafter we'll be getting on to what is next.
Concerns, medics are concerned over rising severe cases of malaria deaths, spark stricter school rules. I don't know if you followed that the death and then burial of this little girl who passed on due to malaria. Now Uganda joins the Invictus community. Still Besigye bail application dismissed, and still in the new vision we have 15 dead, 40 nursing serious injuries in Omoro district accident, what we just talked about, and CDF holds talks with the new US envoy to Uganda. Over to you.
The Daily Nation, ex-ECPRA boss tortured workers over 96 million. That is the Daily Nation representing Kenya. And harvest time, it's raining money, goodies in OI Kalu. And Dangote lays the ground for region's largest oil refinery in Kenya. And of course, 9,000 varsity qualifiers shun degree for diploma certificates courses, all of that in the Daily Nation from Kenya. And it brings us to the end of the updates we have for you this morning. Now, LC1 elections will be on the 28th of July 2026. Is it something that you are looking forward to? Is it something that you should look forward to? Well, we're having a conversation with the Right Honorable Richard Tudwong. And for something for you to participate in is your opinion. Is your community ready and informed about LC1 elections and ongoing registration? Do get in touch. Save the number 0709 602 592 and make sure that you're following at UBC TV Uganda to be part of the conversation. We'll be right back to talk about exactly that. Good morning.
Live from UBC.
Welcome back from that lane of throwback music. It's a Thursday. A very good morning to you. And yesterday was a day on its own from the horrific traffic accident that claimed 14 lives along the Kampala-Gulu highway to Parliament granting leave to Buyaga West MP Honorable Dennis Namara leave to introduce a private member's bill to amend the Administration of Parliament Act. This proposed legislation means that it would allow all opposition MPs to elect the leader of opposition instead of the current system, as is where the largest opposition party gets to select them. A very good morning to you. Coming to you live from the Nile Avenue, it is Good Morning Uganda, and you are watching UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chiravo Yonyitana. Robert, good morning.
A lovely morning to you, Julie. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
You're good?
I am. And you?
I'm very okay.
Lovely.
Yeah, when there is news in the country,
right.
Of course, this time now there's uncertainties where life is lost. It's very unfortunate. Why do I call it uncertainties? Because the children of these people, the wives of these people, now don't know what next.
Right.
Well, we don't have so much social security, or, you know, when a father of a home, when a mother in a home leaves, there's so much uncertainty. You don't know what tomorrow holds.
I think for me what hurts the most with cases such as this and many unfortunate events is the fact that that's another statistic. And it's a memory that lands on the families. That for every time now, for next year's police report, as they talk about the accidents that occurred in 2026, family members will be remembering that, oh, my member, my family member, my loved one is part of that statistic.
14 gone, 28 having serious injuries. We pray that the death toll remains at that and these people recover. But also there's something that annoys me. These are not accidents, Judy. And I want to speak right to our viewer. These are not accidents. What we have in Uganda, 95% or even 99% are not accidents.
Very preventable.
These are very preventable. Now, you're moving at night at 9:30 and you're over speeding. When you look at last year's police report, the traffic bit of it, most of the accidents were a result of speed and overtaking. In Uganda, someone will overtake in a sharp corner without clear vision of what is coming ahead. And whenever we are head-on collision, usually this is that someone was overtaking or overspeeding without clear vision. And out of the blue, he noticed a vehicle. He had nothing to do but ram into it. Very unfortunate. But also for our brothers and families that are returning from South Africa, so far 880 are back. According to the acting minister for foreign affairs, he had said yesterday in Parliament that there were some supposed to be arriving yesterday.
Right.
I don't have updates as to if they have arrived yet, but there were concern from their relatives that these people are returning. We go to welcome them at the airport. You don't even greet them or hug them. When they're from the flight, they're put in buses or whatever to Chankwans.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
As long as you're brought back by government of Uganda. The moment you land at Entebbe, straight to Chankwanzi. So their relatives were concerned that no, these have already been traumatized. They're coming home to meet their wives.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN.